So the March 30th press conference for Tszyu versus Keith Thurman and Isaac Cruz versus Rolly Romero, and with Sebastian Fedora facing off against Siri Boacek and Erzlandi Lara also facing off against Michael Shafara. So that's gonna be a heavy card. I feel like a lot of those fights are underrated as far as the matchups. Those styles are gonna match up well, especially with Rolly and Isaac Cruz. Those guys like to fight. They don't usually box as much, so should be a nice card. But Keith Thurman, he's building up the fight right now. Also with Tszyu, Tszyu's talking a lot more, making things very interesting right now. I feel like it's gonna be a nice build up. I didn't think those guys would have an edge like they did today, but I feel like it's gonna be a very nice card, especially with Isaac Cruz being on there. Uh, Rolly Romero, those guys been looking for a big fight. They're fighting for a belt. Isaac Cruz trying to become champion. Keith Thurman's trying to become champion. Not champion because he's not fighting for a belt at 154, but he's trying to basically take the O away from Tszyu. So he's trying to be in the driver's seat right now as far as that division, with him moving up, trying to have more power. So he's definitely marketing himself, but Tszyu said it's his era right now. And I definitely feel like it's Tszyu's era right now. It's going to be very difficult for Keith Thurman to go up to 154 and challenge someone like Tszyu who's entering his prime, but that's what we have the fights for. It's definitely a 50-50 fight, but going into it, I will see that Tszyu's probably the favorite. But with this rivalry that they're building up, it's going to be nice. Just like Rolly Romero was saying some things to Isaac Cruz, but Isaac Cruz was letting them know that on fight night he was going to be a chihuahua. I don't know. At the face-off, Isaac Cruz, like, he was mad, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to turn away. He was kind of mean-mugging. Well, he was mean-mugging Rolly hard. Rolly was looking at him like, oh, you serious? Yeah, he's serious. He doesn't do the trash talking. Isaac Cruz hate when somebody trash talk. When Rolly started trash talking, he got mad. That's only going to make things worse. Now you're going to give him some extra motivation the next couple of weeks. What, the next month and a half, 2 months? You're going to give him extra motivation to try to go out there and knock you out. But I'm glad the younger guys now are taking bigger challenges, especially with the Isaac Cruz and Tszyu. And their divisions, you know, they're still considered young and newer to the compared to the guys who they fought or are gonna face in the future. So it's a huge opportunity. But I feel like this card is better than what we first thought. Because when it first came out, we kind of didn't really think of these matchups. All these matchups was kind of surprises, most of them. I don't know about everybody else, but it surprises to me. The Boacek fight with Fedora, that's a surprise. The Safari fight with Lard, that's not a surprise. But it kind of is, because we thought the Danny Garcia fight was gonna happen, so that is a surprise to me. I feel like they weren't gonna go with the Danny Garcia fight just because they were gonna try to do that card on the David Morrell date, but Keith Thurman, he didn't go with the Stanionis fight. They went ahead and made Keith Thurman an option for Tszyu. And from what I'm hearing, Tszyu was in the process of trying to do a fight with Crawford, but it didn't really go through. So a lot of things going on right now. But I always thought they was gonna look at that fight or try to have that fight, especially, you know, when you're with all those guys doing business with PBC, I mean, everybody was on the table as far as the option. So, but it's kind of crazy right now how things are going. I feel like Tszyu, man, he's putting himself in a position where he can make a big name because he knows right now he's missing a big name like Keith Thurman, even though he has Tony Harrison. He kind of wants a big name like someone who's known and someone he's kind of watched growing up and coming up. So he kind of wants a name on his resume like that. And he respects what Keith Thurman brings to the table. He definitely does. He's excited about it, fighting Keith Thurman. So, you know, Tszyu, he's a real guy in the sport of boxing. So he knows a lot of stuff and the way he goes about things. But like he's an old school fighter almost. But a lot of these guys, they don't know, man. They kind of sleeping on him. He's not really what you already been in the ring with, especially the way he throw punches in different angles. But Keith Thurman gonna know. Keith Thurman got a lot of power, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be a close one, especially with Isaac Cruz and Rolly. Hopefully, with Rolly having a new trainer, he'll be able to bring some new things to the table, some new strategies, a new look. I know it's kind of closer to the fight, but he hasn't fought in, a year, so he should have something new, something different. Because from what I've heard, he's been training all around anyway, so it's a lot of things going on, but Isaac Cruz and Rolly, that's going to be a tough fight. I honestly don't know who's going to win right now. If I had to pick, it'll probably be Isaac Cruz, but Rolly has a lot of he has a lot of power, so you can't really sleep on what he brings to the table. And even though he was kind of losing his last fight, he was still doing a lot at the end as far as coming back and working back. So he still has a lot to that he can bring to the table. But Safara against Lara, you know, Lara's getting a lot older now, so this could be a situation like how Mario Barrios and Ugas was. But Lara's still a good fighter, but when I seen him last time, he doesn't have the same kind of snap on his punches, and he's not as mobile, and he doesn't move as much, and he takes a lot more punishment, so I don't know. We got to see. But Lara's still a top guy until he retires. That's how that's always going to be, but he's definitely a top talent. But that was a good press conference, man. The way they was going back and forth and building things up, it's almost like those guys were a rivalry almost, especially with Thurman and Tszyu. I know a lot of it is promotion, but it was good to kind of see them together and see how the chemistry and energy was in the room. But Isaac Cruz looked huge at 140. I know he ain't gonna have that much weight to lose this time, but you know he's still growing and he's a younger guy. He's not that older. He's still he's still a younger guy, so he's still kind of coming into his strength and his power. So and his body's still changing, but he look like he's gonna have a little bit more muscle for this fight. So Rolly Romero got to watch out for that. But it's definitely going to be a good fight. But I like the card, though. With Fandora fighting on fighting for a title, so I feel like he's confident right now. He's trying to work back. He doesn't feel like that last fight, the fight he was in with Mendoza, kind of changes what he's trying to do. So I like everything that's coming together, though. That's a very good card. I actually can't wait to see it now. But it was a very good press conference. If you didn't see the press conference, you should go watch it. It was very good. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.